Hello, my name is Hannah Rachel Carr. I'm going to be talking to you today about a community mapping project that I'm doing for my social studies class in my grad program. So, my job was to kind of map out and look at the community that surrounds the school that I'm teaching at for this school year. So, I'm going to pull up our PowerPoint and walk you through it. Okay, so the name of the project is called Community Mappings, and the presentation will be given by me. And as I said, my name is Hannah Ray Joe Carr. Okay, so an overview of what I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to talk about three things. I'm going to talk about my community walk, my community map that I created, and my community knowledge that I know about the community of the school. So in my community walk, I'm going to be showing you different photos of different aspects of the school and the surrounding community. And for each photo, I've come up with a little caption and then kind of a description of it. So this is a photo of my classroom, and the caption is "Restorative starts inside." This is a photo of my classroom. I chose this photo to describe the community because this explains how I'm utilizing my knowledge of students and their present community to impact my teaching, which I will circle back to at the very end. My next photo is "Literacy is fun." This is a photo of the first grade and second grade hallway in my school. I chose this photo in particular because it's an example of how the school is implementing literacy into daily lives, having it up in the hallways, having it posted so students can interact with it, see the alphabet in fun and engaging ways for students that are still struggling with those aspects of literacy. My next photo is the outside of the school. I captioned this one Hattie Cotton 2.0. I will go into that a little bit further in the presentation. I chose this photo because the whole project is about the school's community and what surrounds it, and the school is central to that. And understanding the building and its history is a large part of schools today. Next, I chose the playground and park. So next, I chose the school's playground. The caption is "Playground and Park." This is a photo of the school's back playground, the red one, which you can see down here at the bottom. This is usually the pre-K and kinder playground. And then over here, I don't know if you can see my mouse on this, but if you look behind the red playground, there's like a brown playground. That's usually where the older grades play. They can play in the lower ones. They just need to be supervised. All the equipment on the red playground is smaller because it's built for the smaller students. I chose this photo because it's one of the parks that is central to the community without having to pass any major highways, so students can get to it without needing an adult to really walk them there, and it is kind of like the neighborhood park. The next photo I chose, the caption is "Literacy Needs." This is a photo of one of the yard signs that is posted outside the school. I chose this because literacy is something that a lot of the students at my school are struggling with currently, and it just shows the community's willingness to help in areas of struggle and the school's willingness to outsource uh, and try to make sure that student needs are met when possible. This next photo, I'm talking about the housing in the community. The caption is "Two is better than one." This is a photo of one of the many styles of multifamily homes that surround the school. There is 2 or 3 apartment complexes that surround it and lots of different townhomes and multifamily homes that are attached. So this accurately shows the housing that most of my students live in. Most of my students live in apartments or multifamily homes. Only a rare few live in single family homes. And then right off the street, that's where this photo is. The caption is "More access is better," right? This photo is a street right off the school. It's called Gallatin Pike. I chose this photo because there's lots of stores, lots of retail options, but this also comes with the side effect of making it hard for students to have access to parks and nature and being able to engage in that side. So it's hard to traverse over here without a car because there's not many crosswalks because it is such a busy street. Okay, so that was part one Now I'm going into part 2. This is the community map. So I've mapped different locations that are nearby to the school and just shown different options. So we'll click on it and take a look. Okay. Okay, and here is my community map. So I have 3 different kinds of assets that I was really trying to show on this map. I have environmental assets. So let me find the school on here just as the central place. Okay, so my school is based in East Nashville. You can see that this is my school and we're central. So environmental assets that it's close to, there is McFerrin Park, which is down over here. It's a park that they can go to, but as you can see, they'd have to cross this major highway. Frederick Douglass Park, all the way down here. This would not be the easiest walk. You're crossing quite a few major streets as well. You've got Sevier Lake. This is a place where students can go fishing or hang out. You have this one is down further. I'll zoom out so that way you can see where it is kind of in relation to the school. This is Radnor Lake State Park. This one is far away and there are closer parks. However, this is one that's really known for its hiking. So if students have hiking interests, this is one. You would definitely need transportation to get here. Eastland Park is the closest park to them, but you are crossing Gallatin Pike right here, which is the really busy street that was photographed. So students can get to it. It's just a little bit hard. For human assets, these are things that can just benefit people and the students as well. You have, here's the school right here. You have Orange Theory Fitness right off that street. You have Chase Bank right across. You have Greenwood Local Dentistry and Orthodontics. I didn't add it onto the map, but there's also a Publix right here, which you can see in my photo. I'll go back to that photo one more time just so you can see what I'm talking about. And then the closest hospital is really not that close. It is quite a ways away compared to everything else that I have listed on the map. It is about 3.75 miles compared to everything else was mostly under 2 miles. And then the last category I chose to look at was the animal assets. So if these students have pets, how close are things related to the pets? You have a pet supply store here with a dog wash option, and then an animal hospital right here for it. So that's the map, and we're gonna go back to the presentation. Okay. So I was just mapping different assets. You've got human assets, environmental assets, and animal assets that are available to my students and to their communities. Like I said, here's the Publix that's right there. The Chase would be right behind that white car. So there is that food access of a grocery store close by. Okay, so my community knowledge of the school. What kind of school is it? Hattie Carton STEM Magnet Elementary. It is a public school. It is also a STEM school, which means they have emphasis on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. They get a lot of their engineering and mathematics curriculum through Vanderbilt partnerships and problem-based learning. And then this is just their logo down at the bottom. Who is in charge and who oversees the school? Who's in charge of just the school is the principal. Then you have the executive director of schools who's over the principal, and then over him, in this case, is the director of all the schools in the districts and the district officials. So you have the principal for this school, which is Dr. Jocelyn Adams, and then the executive director of schools pictured in the middle. I know it's a little bit fuzzy. It was hard to find a clear picture. That's Dr. David Kovach. He is the executive director of schools for the Northeast quadrant of Metro. Then on the far right, you have Dr. Adrienne Battle. She's the director of schools for Metro District. Next, what are the transportation options for students that attend my school? There are 5 transportation options that are frequently used by students. There is the Boys and Girls Club option. There is the yellow bus, which you can see a photo of in the middle. There's the exceptional educational bus, so students that have extenuating circumstances but still need bus transportation. You have walkers, some students live close enough where they can walk. And then the biggest one that one of students at my school came home with is cart riders. What is the sociocultural makeup of my school? It is a very low income school. We are a Title I school. There's about 270 students, and this school struggles a lot with behavioral issues. As you can see, I have a Title I photo and then kind of an example of a potential tantrum that you might see. What races and ethnicities make up the school population, and what is the community like? According to the National Center for Educational Statistics, they said that in the 2021-2022 school year, there was 188 African-American students, 31 white students, 42 Hispanic students, 3 Asian students. And whenever I was going about this project, the community has always been super friendly, super welcoming to me. And overall, super helpful whenever I had questions. And whenever I was interviewing teachers at my school, the community, even within the school, is really awesome, super open to questions and always seeking what's best for students first. How does the school receive funding, and how many students get free/reduced lunches? It is a Title I school. We receive Title I funding, which is given by the government to the state, and then the state issues it out to Title I schools, and all the students at my school receive free and reduced lunches due to it being a Title I school. Where is the school located, and what is the community like? So as I've said before, my school is in East Nashville. I have included a little picture of a map and Gallatin Pike on there. I know I'm referencing it quite a bit. It is just a really, really busy street. With that comes lots of food options, as you can see, the Publix that I've talked about, and then some more food options. What is the community like? There's lots of multifamily homes and many, many commercial spaces. Probably the most interesting thing about my school is the history of it. So there was a bombing of Hattie Cotton Elementary in 1957. The day after the first Black student attended, the school was bombed. It was rebuilt within 8 days later, according to the Forbes article that went out for the 65th anniversary. It was rebuilt, and then after about 10 years, they tore it down and revamped it and rebuilt it. Instead of just like fixing the damage that was done, they revamped it. I've included a picture from the bombing that I got from the Tennessee Museum, and I'm going to try my best to read this. It's a little bit fuzzy. It says, Nashville, Tennessee, September 10th. The wrecked Hattie Cotton Elementary School presented this picture to early risers today. An early morning dynamite blast blew out the wall of one wing and demolished the interior of the newly integrated $500,000 building. And this was in 1957. So that is why my picture of Hattie Cotton on the outside says Hattie Cotton 2.0, because it is the rebuilding of it. In light of this information and in light of this project, I will ensure that my students have plenty of food options. I know for my students, we have breakfast in the classroom every single morning. I have some students that arrive late due to parents' transportation issues and car issues and just work schedules. I always make sure to save those students breakfast so that way they don't have to miss out on that and they're not hungry until lunch. I encourage my students all the time to go outside, play outside, use the school playground if they live nearby, really just trying to engage them in nature. One thing particularly in my classroom that I love to do, because I do have quite a few EL students, I am really big on respecting the home language. I try to integrate Spanish into the classroom as much as possible while integrating English into my conversations with them. So that way we're respecting both languages and both cultures always. In light of this information about the population, how will this impact my classroom directly? In the first photo, which I'll flip back to, I've already started doing this and it has been so helpful. I have a calming corner where students that are having really big emotions can take a minute over there, take some deep breaths, practice mindfulness and grounding exercises. And whenever I'm interacting with students that are having blow-ups, I try my best to take a restorative approach with ensuring that there are lots of logical consequences. The students know what's going to happen every single time. I'm very consistent with the consequences that happen. And that has worked wonders for the students. They really respond well to a routine, and consistency is what I found. Like I said, I'll go back to that photo of my classroom. So as you can see, that space in the corner there with all the pillows, that is my calming corner where a lot of these restorative conversations and de-escalation processes happen. And that is my community mapping project. Thank you so much for listening and taking the time to watch this. I hope you learned a little bit more about Hattie Cotton and the surrounding community that has made my school year for this year. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.